I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
That's right. I'm back. No need to change your computer. It's still me. It's Lamont Tyson, host of the Lamont Tyson Life Games channel. Over here, we do politics, we do TV and movies and entertainment. Please follow me on Instagram at Get a Life Games. Blue Sky, I got one of them, but I got to figure out what I done with it. You can go to TikTok. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be up there. Anyway, we're here to discuss A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. I am supposed to be joined by the Khaleesi of the Andals, Lex the Targaryen, who sent me a message today. I was like, Lex, 9 o'clock work for you? She was like, yeah. I was like, you sure? She was like, yeah, I'm snowed in. I ain't got nothing to do. So I'll be right there. Folks, I think she done got her a snow boo. I do. I think she done got snow booed and she's late. Because yes, she's late a lot, but she is never late when we're talking Game of Thrones, House of the Dragons, anything in the George R.R. Martin universe. My co-host for these shows is never late. So let's get on into it. It's episode number 2. We catch my man, Ser Duncan. He is now being called Ser Duncan the Tall, is burying his apostle, his sensei. The old guy is getting buried, the one that taught him everything he knew. And ladies and gentlemen, leave it to HBO and the Game of Thrones lure to just take everything as far as they can go with it. In one of the very first scenes, they show his sensei, this old dude. Now, I don't think he was coming out of a whore cave, since it wasn't a house, it was a cave, because these guys are poor. I'm going to just call it a whore cave. And folks, let me tell you something. I think this was and now we know why this man loved horses so much. I think he is the very first person in history to get reconstructive surgery on his penis and take it from a horse. Because HBO showed this old man in all his glory after he just got finished doing some Jeffrey Epstein style looking things to a young girl. And then they took us on a journey of Dunk and his sensei, this guy right here, and trying to understand all the things that he told him, all the things this man has told Dunk that he's done. But the problem is nobody seems to know him. Nobody in Westeros knows who this guy is. Nobody. They don't know him. So Dunk goes out. He's trying to become a knight. He thinks he's going to win this thing, ladies and gentlemen. He really does. He goes into the city, and as he's into the city, a lot of things happen. A couple things happen. Let's just start right here, number 1, with what happened. There's about to be a tournament that somehow, some way, old boy is going to win. Dunk. He's going to win somehow, some way. But this tournament, I believe, is for this girl. Now, in the book, George R.R. Martin tends to not give girls names, but this girl's had a name. She is going to be, basically, she's of highborn blood. And so to win this jousting tournament and get her hand in marriage, man, bruh, you stepping up. And so the jousting gets the jousting. But before we get to the jousting, let's talk about Dunk and this friend he's met with this guy right here. Dunk was sitting there minding his business, chilling with the egg. His friend that he met in episode 1 comes over and says, help me pull this rope. And would you know, this king gets out of line. He stops helping pull the rope. And we got a chance to see just how strong and determined and willed Duncan is, because homeboy gets out of line. He's holding the rope basically by himself. And then homeboy gets back in line. They win the tug-of-war. When is the last time y'all had a good game of tug-of-war with your family? Or when is the last time y'all jumped rope? Post your comments. Let me know if you've done either one lately. I just jumped rope yesterday. And let me tell y'all, if you ain't used to jumping rope is a pain in the you know what. So they win the tug of war. He's got himself an ally, but he's still poor. He needs some weapons. And so he meets a weaponsmith who's going to give him, you know, all the things to put on to protect himself for this joust that's coming. And he tells him, I'm going to win. And the weaponsmith basically looks at him and says, what do you think all the other people coming here said to me? And he gives up his old horse, the white one. And he tells the horse he's going to come back and get him. Duncan has a sweet spot for horses. He has a sweet spot in general to be so big, menacing, and strong. And we get to the jousting event, and we get some Targaryens coming in here. We get a Targaryen asshole coming in here who thinks Duncan mans the horses. Now, Duncan told him I don't do it, but Duncan wound up manning the horses. And that gave us a chance to see, folks, these people, the gold cloaks. Really, they're the white cloaks. From what I've learned in the book, the gold cloaks were always the white cloaks. And now they're just exercising that these guys wear white because they're telling me that this is the most book-friendly, accurate story that HBO has done. And so instead of it being gold cloaks, the people that the knights for the king, they wear white. And they're just talking to Duncan, and he's taking care of the horses. He's letting them know, I'm going to be whipping some ass, and I might be right here with y'all one day. Of course, they don't believe him. Of course not. They just think he's full of crap. And they're going to be eating their words one day. We get on to the nice Targaryen. This man is one seat away from ruling all the 7 kingdoms. He's talking to Dunk, letting Dunk know what's going to be necessary for you to get into this tournament. But not without a little bit of controversy. We got a little bit of controversy. Because, where is it? That's not it. Where is the guy? There's a guy that doesn't like Dunk that was sitting right here with him. And I'll have to pull him up later. But basically, the guy was edging on Dunk, basically telling Dunk, you ain't going to be shit. Nobody knows who your mentor was. And Dunk basically tells him, you know, what happens if your child dies? And that just irritates the guy a little more. And then we get back to the jousting. And then you see Dunk picks up Egg, put him on his head. Now, a lot of people are saying they love this jousting a whole lot better than what they liked in Game of Thrones, a whole lot better than what they got from Game of Thrones. It was intense. It was a lot going on. You could see Dunk really looking at it, but Dunk had a look on his face, folks, that didn't look he didn't look too confident in his abilities. How about I leave it at that? He kind of was looking like, can I do this? Because just because you're big and strong doesn't mean you're the baddest. Doesn't mean you can beat everybody. But I think we pretty much know how this story goes. So somehow he is going to do it, but what is he going to have to do along the way? We also learned that Egg, he wants to be a knight, folks. He wants to be a knight, some kind of bad. And he's smart like Tyrion. He's kind of got that cunningness, that insight. It's just that he's tiny. And I do believe eventually there's going to be more to his story. I could see them I don't know the books, so I'm just kind of guessing. For those of you that don't know the books, humor me. I could see them making him some kind of little assassin that clips people in the ankles and stuff like that. He'd be the real Achilles heels. And we'll see what happens. But I'm starting to like Dunk. I like these characters on this show that physically they're not imposing, but mentally they are extremely imposing. And that is definitely the Egg. He's very imposing, and he's constantly helping out Dunk learn his way, Ser Duncan learn his way. And this was one of the funnier moments. He's helping Ser Duncan learn his way. Did y'all see when he went in here, they saw the play with this beautiful young black sister, just beautiful. Take a look at the smile on Duncan's face. Ser Duncan looked like he just invited her to a Valentine's Day date, and she said yes. And what they're really doing here, he needs to get his own sigil. He needs to get his shield looking right, and she has the ability to do it. Now they get into a little conversation, and my man, the egg, had to reel him in. Look at the egg. They was talking about putting things in places and stuff for folks they never seen their faces, and Egg had to basically shut him down. Egg gave him the idea for the tree. Dunk came up with the other stuff, and this young lady basically said, yeah, I can do it. Now here comes the dilemma. I don't know the story, so I'm guessing here. Let's just say Dunk wins the tournament. Isn't he not going to have to be wed that other girl? But you can obviously see this man has a taste for chocolate. And realistically, who wouldn't have a taste for this kind of chocolate? Anybody would. And so she's going to get that man's shield together. She's going to get all his stuff up there. It's going to look great in battle. But what is going to come of that at the end of the battle? And then at the end of the episode, ladies and gentlemen, you just got a chance to see more of Egg jousting, really letting you know that he's a warrior at heart. And eventually, I'm pretty sure he's going to put his cunningness mentally together, and his body is going to catch up with that. And this man is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Overall, so far, ladies and gentlemen, the show has been moving very slow for me. I think I said after episode 1, if you are a Game of Thrones, if you're new to Game of Thrones, you probably don't want to start this show because it's very slow. There's not a lot of action. It's more story building. If you're into the lore already, you're loving this show because it's the closest thing to the book. If you got here because of the TV, you're probably loving it too because you're getting your Game of Thrones fix the way they do their things. For me, it's rather slow, but I'm sticking with it. I'm having to learn all these people's names, all these kings and all this, and that's, you know how that goes. But I'm interested to see. Next episode seems like it's about to be some catching fire going on, if you know what I'm saying. So post your comments down below. Let me know what you think about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms so far in the first 2 episodes. That's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. Maybe we'll find the Khaleesi sooner or later. I don't know where she's at. Maybe she's Dracarys in somebody. Like I said, she's probably got her a snow boo. Post your comments. Till that next Sex is Hell video, I'm out.
Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.